Fraternities and sororities are a major part of college life. Coordinating such a large group of people can be a daunting, yet very rewarding task. The new director of Greek life at MSU is Evan Ditty. Evan, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, Paige.
And can you tell us a little bit about your goals for Murray State Greek life this year?
Yeah, one of my biggest goals is to kind of push this idea of a Greek community. Oftentimes with Greek life, you hear the words Greek unity thrown around, but we know that all of the 1,500 students in Greek life aren't going to like each other 100% of the time. So the big idea is to look for this idea of community like we look for in the residential colleges, where students are looking out for one another and just generally caring about each other and the future of their organizations and the future of this Greek life to move forward in the future.
Very nice. And also part of your title is to help with the student leadership program. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Part of, in the strategic initiative plans, student leadership was brought up as one of the areas that we needed to focus on as Murray State. So what I did was, using research, I went back and planned out a 4-year program that starts your freshman year with the emerging leaders and culminates in a leadership fellows, and there's a sophomore and junior program as well. So students come in as a cohort their freshman year, and then eventually they graduate out and end up giving back to the program in their senior year. I've also devised leadership seminars for officers, presidents, and treasurers, secretaries, positions like that are very common among all student organizations, to help train them better on what Murray State expects from them as a student leader in a student org. And then finally, we have leadership on the road, which is where we go out to different clubs, organizations, chapters, things like that, and we talk about fundraising and budgeting and recruitment and things along those lines with my team of graduate assistants, and then eventually those leadership fellows as well.
And is this a first for Murray State or something brand new?
This is not a first. Many of the staff and faculty who were students here at Murray State might remember emerging leaders, but there was always a gap. There was emerging leaders for the freshmen, and then leadership Murray State was for seniors. So there was just this big gap in the middle that we weren't reaching these sophomore and junior students. So what we did was we went back and we developed 2 new programs: sophomore leadership, which is a spring of their sophomore year, and then a junior leadership, which is now the Leadership Murray State, and that's what will take us through that 4-step program.
And when is this all going to start kicking off?
Well, applications for emerging leaders were due September 4th, which was this past Friday. So right now, my graduate assistant and I are choosing the first cohort based on an application process, and then sophomore leadership will roll out in the spring with another cohort. So we're kind of catching up just to make sure that all of them are functioning at the levels that they need to be this semester.
And what are some of the things that a student involved in this can gain from the program?
Yeah, well, obviously they're going to learn more about leadership than they ever knew. A lot of college students think that leadership is just what you do in a student organization, but we know that it's a lot more than that. It could be what you do at work, what you do in the community, what you do in your church or in the classroom. So we're going to be focusing on a wide range of leadership, talking a lot about communication. There will be a service piece because we do know that that's important. And then focusing on things like diversity initiatives and things like that, things that student leaders are going to run into whenever they graduate out. And the idea is to give them these experiences to help them get jobs after graduation here from Murray State.
Well, so excited that you're bringing this program back to campus and spearheading the whole thing. So thank you so much for coming and speaking with me about this today.
Thank you, Paige, and I really appreciate the offer.